So, the first thing I'm going to talk about in my Chapter 9 application is the FIT principal assignment. I was assigned somebody that wanted to work on cardio and that had sickle cell trait. So, since I didn't know a lot about training somebody with sickle cell trait, I had to do some outside research and I found a really awesome article about it and just kind of like risks and how to train an athlete with sickle cell trait. And so that helped a lot. And I cited that source on my paper. Um, so the first part of the FIT principle is frequency. And also, the main thing that article said is that when somebody with sickle cell trait sets their own pace and knows their own limits, there's usually not a problem, and that you should never have them do something excessively exertional that they don't need to be doing. And also, they talked a lot about only sport specific things. Don't make them go run a mile if they're a wrestler, things like that. Setting their own pace and just taking it a little step at a time, building up resistance and building that strength and conditioning. So, the first part of the FIT principle is frequency. And just because they said, increase rest time, take it slow to begin with, I only wanted to start my person out at 2 days a week for the very first week ever. For cardio, the optimal frequency is 5 times or more a week. But just starting out slow, I want to do 2 times a week. I wanted that to be Monday and Thursday, so they have 2 days of rest between each workout day. And then slowly increase that according to their pace and how they're feeling and all that. So the second part, intensity. For cardio, it's recommended to have an intensity of 5 or 6 on a scale of 0 to 10. I just wanted to keep my person, again, starting out this first week super easy, slowly increasing to that optimal intensity rate. I wanted to start them out like maybe a 3 or 4, something really moderate, maybe light sweating, making sure they can still talk, that they're not exerting themselves crazy amounts. They're still able to talk while they're working out, kind of using that scale and following a moderate intensity, that scale we were given. The first T in the FIT principle, time. The minimum time of a workout for cardio is 150 minutes. Again, that first week, I want to take it so easy and slow. I want to do 100 minutes a week, so 60 minutes for those 2 days, just to see what happens, kind of test it out, make sure no symptoms like fatigue, weakness, none of that shows up for sickle cell trait. So 100 minutes, 60 minutes a workout, just get an hour in, and then again increasing that to 150 the second week, and then optimal, I want them between 200 minutes and 500 minutes a week. 500's like awesome, but also just kind of taking it at their own pace. Again, it's all up to them, how they feel, how their body's reacting to this workout, to the workouts. So the last T, type, again, starting at a lower exertional type where my person can kind of choose the pace they're going at, how hard they want to go, how easier they want to go, slow. It's all up to them. So I wanted to start with them with things such as like swimming, tennis, dancing, where they can choose what they're doing, how much they're doing, the intensity of it. It said in that article, the most dangerous thing for somebody with sickle cell trait to do is just go run a mile for no reason, or sprinting. And a lot of times deaths happen during that long distance running. So I know cardio makes us think of running, but not necessarily for this person. Some more exertional things I'll have them do would be like skiing, biking, slowly working up to that. But there's no way on the first week I'm going to say, let's go run a half a mile or run some laps. No, I'm going to start out slow, easy, tennis, jump rope, things like that. Okay, so the second thing I'm going to talk about is the creatine supplements. And for this athlete, I am going to advise to not use creatine supplements. My first reasoning is going to be that they are an endurance athlete, and based on the research and the information we have from our book, creatine's meant to build strength, build muscle, help you gain weight, and can be detrimental to an endurance athlete, somebody who's a cross country distance runner like this athlete is. And that comes from the fact that you gain weight when you take creatine supplements, and it can also cause water retention, things that are all going to slow a runner down. And even if that didn't make them kind of steer clear from creatine, I'd say no, you're not allowed to. You're under 18. Researchers aren't even like using or studying creatine on younger athletes. So that under 18 thing, I'd be like, no, sorry, don't want to risk anything that could hurt them or be detrimental to their health or their growth. And for the third part of the Chapter 9 application, for the carb loading, since this athlete is only a recreational runner, I'd remind her that, you know, this isn't going to be beneficial all the time for everything you do. You are just like recreational running. But for the 5K, it could help. It could be beneficial to do carb loading. And I would just say that 36 hours to 48 hours before the 5K to slowly taper off her workouts, slowly bring them down, and then slowly increase her carb intake. So she is going to take her carb intake from 6 to 8 grams per weight a day, and she's going to change that to 10 to 12 grams per weight per day. And I put that in my paper as well. And that is all I have for the Chapter 9 application.